Welcome to Yoga for Love. Thank you for being here tonight and catching us on YouTube. Those of you that are joining us from out of town, we're going to be working on a fun, fit, and flow vinyasa tonight. So you'll need 2 blocks. You might want to grab a firm blanket and of course your mat and some water. Make sure your water is not too cold so it doesn't cool down your system too quickly once you get your energy and your prana going. And you can find some more of our details and information of our workshops and retreats on yogaforlove.com. We're going to go ahead and get started with our breath work. Thank you. Hey, welcome. So thanks for being here. We're going to go ahead and begin with our pranayama, our breath control. So if you'd like to sit on a blanket, you can grab a blanket. We have some extras up here. If your knees sit higher than your hips, and I do recommend using a blanket. So maybe you want one? So you're going to sit on the folded edge of your blanket, and that's going to help support your hips. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So take the firmest part of your blanket, and then you're just going to face that towards your hips. So that way you can let your pelvis just be right on the edge, and then your knees can drop forward. So just find that adjustment there, and then we're just going to relax the shoulders, close the eyes, or you can take a focal point, just a soft gaze somewhere straight ahead, and then begin to just kind of decompress. So it's time for our yoga practice, so yay! You get to just relax and breathe for the next hour together. Just begin focusing on the sound of your own breath in and out through the nose. Feel your belly rise and fall. You need to deepen your breathing. So as you inhale, feel the belly open up and the ribs lift up, and feel that belly get a little fuller. Come all the way to the very top of your breath and pull that air all the way up into your collarbones, into the very highest part of your lungs, and then just pause. You tiny little bit more air in if you can. And we're going to lock the throat, keep your ribs uplifted, and tuck your chin to your chest. Now begin your exhale, keeping the belly pressed in and up. Let the ribs stay lifted open. Keep squeezing belly button to spine, but try not to slouch when you do. So you're not using your body muscles to squeeze out the air, but you're using your diaphragm. From the very bottom of your breath, and then we're going to unlock the throat. Breathe all the way in. Inhale a little bit more. At the very top of the breath, we're going to tuck the chin to the chest. Lift your heart center nice and high. And then exhale, belly button to spine. If you'd like to take a mudra here, you can touch index finger to thumb or middle fingertip to thumb. Palms facing up for receiving. You can face the palms down for cooling and relaxing. Belly button in and up, squeeze it out, squeeze it out, squeeze it out without rounding. Keep going to the bottom of your breath. And when you get to that bottom of the breath, come right back into your next cycle, opening the throat. Breathing all the way in. Feel your belly expand. And then exhale, belly button to spine. Squeezing it out. In and up. So exhaling is an upward motion. Inhale is a downward motion. As you inhale, you feel the diaphragm moving down, the air moving in and down. These are the 2 opposing forces of Prana and Apana. They're always married together in the 2 opposites. And finish up that next cycle with a full exhale, everything out. And then come back to your natural breathing. Into child's pose. So if you have a blanket, you can use it, and you might want to unfold it to make it a little wider. And you can fold it again so it's long and skinny. And then you're going to tuck it underneath the backs of the knees, right on top of the calves. And then bring your knees apart toward the edges of your mat, toes together, and then sit back onto your heels. Begin to walk your arms forward and let your forearms drop down, let your head drop. Your head may not reach the mat. If it doesn't, you can take a block or a prop and grab that. Or you can use your hands. So you want your props to be close to you. Your arms can be reaching forward or they can wrap around your body. If you choose to let your arms wrap, you can turn your head to the side and just let your elbows drop out to the ground. Let yourself just decompress, and soften, and breathe. A couple nice full breaths here, just settling a little bit more. Turn the head and let yourself melt a little further if your head was turned. If not, maybe change up the position of your arms. Come into all fours. Go ahead and move your props out. And we're going to come into a cat and cow breath cycle. So we're going to spiral out the fingers nice and wide. Bring your knees underneath the center of your hip bones, and the palms are going to be right underneath your shoulder. We're going to drop the ribs down and exhale into cow this time. So we're breathing a little bit opposite. We're going to inhale into cow. And breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Let the head drop out. Drop the ribs, exhale. Lift the tail, look up, squeeze the breath out. And then inhale as you breathe into the back of your body. Round your head, shake your head. Breathing out as you come into cow. Breathe into cat. Breathe into that low back, let your head just relax, let your hair drop out. We'll do a couple more cycles, reversing the breath in cat and cow today. This time start to move the hips and shoulders side to side. You're just rolling the low back, rolling the shoulders as you breathe into your cat. And you breathe out to your cow. Just moving the hips and shoulders, moving with your breath. Do one more breath cycle here, breathing into cat. Maybe even stretch the arms, reach the fingers this time. And then exhale, dip nice and low into your cow. And come back to your neutral. Let's go ahead and move into our downward facing dog. So don't get there yet, but tuck your toes under. We're going to reach back and spread out our toes. So really get a nice firm grip on the earth. Pada Bandha. And then we're going to reach the hands forward and get a nice firm grip with our hands. Hasta Bandha. Spread out the fingers shoulder width so that the fingertips are about, like spread out wide, but you don't force the hands to, you want to make a little space like underneath the palm. So you want to make sure you're kind of pushing the index finger to your thumb into the ground. And one of my teachers once said, you don't even want an ant to be able to get up underneath your knuckles. You really want that nice firm grip. And then let your head relax. Stay in your active child's pose here. And this is your measurement in yoga. One of my teachers was Kumar Kalana, and he said in Eastern yoga we always use this measurement. I talked about this before. And that this is your space for your down dog too. So this is going to be the same amount of space you take up with your downward facing dog. All we're going to do here is we're going to simply begin to lift the hips without changing the position of our hands, our shoulders, or our arms. Just begin to straighten the legs and pull your tailbone back and up. Imagine if you had a little puppy dog tail and someone was pulling you up by your little doggy tail. You would just pull easily up. You ever seen a dog do down dog? You know what I'm talking about. Now we'll just roll forward, coming into plank. And we're going to round our back. Inhaling into plank asana like a cat pose. Now try not to make your booty stick up. You're just rounding your back in plank. And you're going to inhale into regular plank. This time we're going to exhale, round. Exhale into regular plank. Inhale and round. So you're pulling your shoulder blades back. Inhale into regular plank. Look forward and then exhale, round into your plank. One more time, exhaling into regular plank. And then one more breath cycle for inhaling, rounding and back. Inhale back. Exhale to kneeling plank. Give yourself a break. Relax your toes. What? You'll have to ask your dad. I'm teaching. Thanks. So just go ahead and reach back. Come back into your child's pose. Breathe here. In and out through the nose. And coming back up. Let's go ahead and grab our blocks this time. We're going to reach our right foot forward, stepping it between your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you're just going to set your hands on the ground, or you can use your fists. And from here, just grab your heel if it gets kind of stuck somewhere back here. We're just going to set it down. It's going to be right beneath the knee. Hands are going to be right beneath the shoulders. Now the back knee is going to want to just stack right there underneath the hips. So what you're going to do is you're going to slide that back knee back. There you go. So it's back in more of an angle. And then you can adjust where your blocks are. Find your focal point and just work on your breath. And we're going to step back and switch. Slide that right knee back, point the toe. Making the adjustments to your blocks here. Make sure your hands still stay down right beneath your shoulders. So you're not reaching forward or out for your blocks. They're literally right beneath your armpits. Yes, pull your blocks back. And if it feels like your blocks are too high or too low, just play around with adjusting the height. See what works for the length of your shin. So you want to make sure your ribs aren't like really packed into your left thigh, but you're also not like reaching too high and you're way up here. So just kind of find that compromise right in the middle. Again, notice where your right knee is, and you can scooch it back a little bit more. What did your dad say? Now we're going to step back. And go ahead and move your blocks out. Let's make our way back into child's pose. And breathe. In and out through the nose. Take a moment here. Excuse me for just a second. My daughter is muting me. I'm on YouTube Live and I'm teaching people. Use your active child's pose. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to spread out the fingers and then come up slightly under the knees. Spread out your toes again. Maybe use your hands to spread your toes apart. And then reaching forward. So you find this strong reach. Use your core strength and then pull your tailbone up to the sky. Let your head drop out. Let your head relax. Shake it out. Let's walk hands and feet together. Come into forward fold in the middle of your mat. We're going to inhale, lift halfway. Make an L shape with your body. Then we're going to exhale, fold in half and grab opposite elbows. And just shake the head out. Gently rocking from side to side. You can let your arms drop all the way out if you like. Reach your hands up overhead and interlock your fingers. Or you can grab opposite elbows. Bend your knees a little bit, and then try to lift your arms up off your body. So you really rinse out the shoulders. And breathe. Maybe flip your fingers toward the sky, or you can grab opposite elbows and open the shoulders a little bit more, or interlock the hands. With the head, just shake side to side. If you've been doing a lot of typing or driving, this should feel really, really good. The more you bend your knees, the more you can rest your chest on your thighs and let your body weight drop out. The more you straighten your legs, the more gravity is going to decompress your spine, but you're going to have a stronger pull on your hamstrings. So keep a tiny little bend in the back of your knees at all times. And then slowly release the hands, drop them down to the ground. And find ragdoll. So the backs of your hands can touch the ground, awesome. If it can't, you're kind of hanging up here. What I'd rather see you do is just grab opposite elbows and use the weight of your arms to traction your back. Just gently rock. Side to side. Let your head drop out. Bend your knees. We're going to slowly roll up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in half. And then inhale, we're going to reverse Swan Dive all the way up. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come to our heart. And then relax your shoulders. Keep your elbows active. We're going to come up to the top of our mat. Let's bring our feet together. Heels slightly apart. Soften the knees and spread out the toes. Find your focal point. In and out through the nose. Let's reach up to the sky. Take a little back bend, palms together. Exhale to our heart. Relax here. So inhale, reach up. On the exhale, let your left arm drop away. And then bring your feet about shoulder width. So we're reaching right hand up. Nice far urdhva, upward reaching. We're going to left hand reach kind of down toward the ground. So we're pulling, pull the middle fingertips apart, creating that dynamic tension, and begin to lean out to the left. Just let your head drop away. Continue to breathe here. If you want to deepen here, what you can do is you can bring your feet more together. And then if you would like, you could reach your hand up and over and interlock your fingers. Let your head relax out to the side. Breathe into your ribs. Inhale up. And then exhale, come into your mountain pose. Feet are shoulder width in mountain. And you're feeling all 4 points of the feet. So you're feeling a little ball beneath the big toe, a little ball beneath your pinky toe, center of your heels. So the little triangular point on both feet. Pull your tailbone down and lift the crown of the head up. Just reach up. Take a back bend again here, soft knees, and interlock the fingers if you'd like. Reach back. Keep your chin tucked, or you can drop back. Tuck the chin, Hands come back to the heart, relax the shoulders. Inhaling up. Right hand drops away. Coming into our lateral side stretch here, reaching, nice full, long reach, pull the fingertips apart. So finding that dynamic tension. Bring your eyes open straight ahead and find a focal point, eye level, and then let it be nice and soft as you reach down toward that right side. Coming into your crescent stretch, breathing here. Now if you'd like to here, you can bring the feet more together and challenge yourself a little bit more. And if you'd like to challenge yourself a little further, just noticing and being really mindful of your back. You can take your other hand up and interlock the fingers. If you feel any twinge in the back, just go ahead and bring that hand back down. If you still feel it, bring your feet apart. So you're going to know where it feels good and breathe into that space. Pushing the tailbone down, reaching up the side, and inhale up, exhale, and just roll the shoulders out. Let's find our mountain pose again. Take a moment here just to stand firm and strong like a mountain. So you're really checking in, you're grounding down to the hands, you're grounding down to the feet. Reach up to the sky, big breath in. Arms wide, fold in half, all the way out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding in half. Bend the knees, reverse Swan Dive up. Option again here for your back bend. So palms together, hands can be at your heart to protect your back more. And then reach. And breathe, good. Hold here for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Breathing in, breathing out. Set your intention, hands at the heart. And come back to your starting posture, feet together. Let's reach all the way up to the sky. Let's take a swan dive, folding all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, reverse Swan Dive up. Slight back bend, exhale to our heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in half. Arms wide, heart leads. Inhale, hands to shins or to the fingertips of the floor. And then exhale, folding in half, finding the ragdoll or grabbing opposite elbows. So hang out here for a breath or two. If you're grabbing opposite elbows, you can just let your arms traction out your back and shake the head out. If you're finding ragdoll, you can let the backs of your hands touch the ground. A lot of times we want to just grip the ground. It's kind of like a cat reaction where we just claw into the ground anytime your fingers touch the mat. So bringing the backs of your hands to the mat lets the shoulders really relax. Bend the knees, reverse Swan Dive up. And hands come to our heart. And breathe. Let's reach all the way up. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Let's step that right foot back. So we're coming into a lunge. And keep that right heel off the ground. Reaching all the way up. Relax the shoulders. Good. Let's move our left foot slightly to the left and take a little bit deeper of a stance. Excellent. Find your focal point. Spread out those fingers nice and wide. Breathe here. I'm going to make an adjustment to my camera real quick. Good. So as you're working with your crescent lunge, what you want to do is activate the fingers, push back through your heel. The heel is going to be facing like it's at 6 o'clock. So a lot of times that back heel turns in. And when that happens, we're kind of moving out of the energy of facing forward like you would be in your lunge. Let's take butterfly arms for the next 3 breaths. Option for a back bend here. Big breath in. Let's reach up. We're going to spin the hips and shoulders open to the right into warrior 2. And then deepen down. Left palm to the sky, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Let's do that 2 more times. Reverse. And warrior two. Last one here. Then exhale, windmill all the way down. Pivoting that back foot, come back into your runner's lunge, drop the knee back into your Anjani asana. Grab your blocks. We've been here before, so we're revisiting this pose. Sliding that right knee back, left heel's underneath the left knee. Find that focus. And stepping back, switching sides. We're going to build this posture from the ground up this time. Slide that left knee back. Again, finding those hands right down beneath the armpits. If you're not using blocks, just use your fingertips. Make sure you have a nice long line of energy from the crown of your head, through your shoulders to the hips to the knee. Let's tuck the back toes. We'll lift into runner's lunge. Push back into your back foot so you get a little bit more of your foot on the ground, and your hands are going to come to the heart. Let's use your core to come up. Crescent lunge arms, reach up. Let's take butterfly arms, option for our back bend here. One more breath, either reaching up or back bending, or you can modify simply hands to the heart. Let's reach up to the sky. Drop the back heel down and turn to warrior two, out to the left. Relax the shoulders. Front toes are going to still face 12 o'clock, but loosen up the grip of your toes. Find that focus. Nice. Gaze over that right hand. Find a point in space to gaze at. Left hand reaches down and around the thigh. Right hand up to the sky. And breathe. And back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Just do that 2 more times on your own, just flowing with our breath. Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale to Vira 1, and pick up that back heel, and then step forward all the way. Find your mountain pose, relax the shoulders, spread out the fingers, spread out the toes, softening the knees. Just flow with the arms this time in our mountain pose. We're working with the breath and exhaling it out. We're going to inhale up. And exhale out. Now this time we're going to stay here and we're going to exhale up. Hold. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Now take a minute to feel that. So as we oppose the breath when we're normally used to moving with the inhales and we're reaching, did you notice that when you exhaled up, it pulled your diaphragm in and up? So it automatically kind of puts you into Uddiyana Bandha. So that's a bind that you're going to use in your yogic blocks as you're practicing your breath. We did that at the beginning with the 3-part breath, right? So by pushing that diaphragm in and up, it's kind of, you can do that by just exhaling out. Let's try it again. See how it just kind of forces you? You may even choose to put your hands back to back and see how that changes it. Inhale down and exhale up. Try your hands back to back this time. And then inhale down. You feel that lock? So that's your Uddiyana Bandha. You're going to use that anytime you're inverted or any of your arm balances. Any kind of athletics, you're going to use that too, especially martial arts. One more time. Exhale up. Hold, belly button spine, inhale down. And come back to your natural breath. And just shake it out. Shake those hips out. Get a little loose on your mat. Yeah, does that feel good? So that's how you can kind of trick your body into doing Uddiyana Bandha. I learned that from one of my teachers, Leslie Kamenoff. And so he has a whole weekend workshop on the anatomy of the breath. Super fascinating. But so when you're working with your bandhas, you're working with all of your energy lining up. And you're working with those opposing energies of the Apana and the Prana. So you're working with the natural flow of energy. And so as you begin to learn how the breath is that simple natural flow of outward and inward energy, then you can kind of apply that either to your practice, of course, to the rest of your life as you begin to notice when you're holding your breath, when you're not breathing, when you're in traffic or stressed or whatever, and you're just breathing really small. Those are some of the things that you can try, some of those hand exercises, and helps you to kind of get back into yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to be back in the moment. I'm going to not worry about the future in my to-do list. I'm not going to worry about what happened last time I did this and get stuck in the past and recreate that. I'm going to just simply be here with my breath. So let's go ahead and reach up to the sky. We're going to move to that vinyasa one more time. We're going to step that right foot back, heel off the ground, and back into Crescent Lunge. Now, more balance. You're going to bring your arms wide. Even more balance. Bring your left foot, heel toe to the left. Now notice, does that right heel drop in and make your hip turn open? So keep that right heel off the ground. Maybe just readjust again and sink a little deeper. You can take butterfly arms here, but notice your arms are getting really lazy and coming down. So you want to bring your elbows level with the shoulders. Breathe. Active arms, active hands. Inhale up. We're going to exhale into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana. And then settle down into your legs. We're going to take a reverse warrior on this side, back to Warrior Two with this body vinyasa. And reverse. And back. And again. And back. Inhale to Warrior One. Heels still on the ground in Warrior One, but you're going to shorten the stance. So that way your hips easily face the front mostly. Shoulders are facing the front. Gaze is strong. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to come down into your lunge. So stepping back and then reach down to the ground or your blocks. You can stay in runner's lunge this time, or you can go ahead and just drop that knee and begin to open up that psoas muscle. If you're strengthening, you want to lift the leg. If you're opening and stretching and building, then you're going to drop that knee. You may try a couple breaths each way. Maybe lifting that heel off the ground this next couple breaths, or maybe dropping it down to the ground the next couple breaths. And bring it down. Let's go ahead and switch. Stepping back and right foot forward. Slide that left knee back. And lift the leg. Coming into runner's lunge. Now again, we're going to build this posture like we did from the way down. We're going to build it all the way up. So go ahead and just scoot your blocks out to the side. You take your hands to your thigh. Step in a little closer maybe. And come up. And then add your arms. So find your Crescent Lunge. And open. Warrior Two. And deepen your stance. Let's take a reverse warrior. Inhaling, exhaling Warrior Two. Two more times. And again. And exhale. Breathing here. Let's come into our Warrior One and shorten the stance front to back so the heels are not quite so far apart. Let's bring our hands to our heart, and we're going to step front feet together. Come into your starting pose. Finding that focal point, checking in, spread out the toes. Roll the inner thighs together so your feet are touching if possible, all the way in. And if your feet don't touch, just push the inner knees of the feet together and Roll the inner thighs forward. Let's reach up to the sky. Option again to take that back bend. Hold, stay here. Exhale, hands come to our heart. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms wide. We're going to sink down into chair with the arms wide and find your focal point. So you're flying here into eagle. We're going to wrap left arm, left hand under the arm, grab your armpit, right hand comes over the shoulder. Now lift your elbows so your elbows don't drop low, they stay really high, which really opens the back of your heart center. Bring the backs of your hands together and then even wrap the fingers. Staying in your chair. Breathe here. Spread out your fingers. Now since the left elbow is below, we're going to step the left foot over and touch the toes onto the ground. Find your focal point. Breathing into your shoulders, pulling all of your energy in to the center. Maybe lift your toe and push your toe to the outside edge of your calf. Or pull your toes around and let them peek out on the other side of your knee. Breathe here. We're going to unwrap. Inhale up. And find your mountain pose. Exhaling it out. Hold here. Shoulders are open. Fingers are open. Feet are shoulder width. Breathe. Find your focus. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, arms wide, taking your wings out wide. Heel toe feet together. Sink down into a high chair. And then step your right foot over this time. Maybe from here, right hand comes around the armpit. Left hand comes over the shoulder. Lift your elbows and sink down nice and low. Stack your knees and stack your elbows all to the center. So you're bringing everything to the center. Fingertips come to the sky, hands go back to back. Make sure you didn't drop your elbows way down so they stay high. Maybe wrap your fingers and open up your fingers. You can bring your pinky toe up and push into your leg. If you want, you can wrap your toes. Don't let the elbows drop. Breathe into the back of your heart center. Pulling all the extraneous energy that you might have given away or been taken away back to your own center. Garudasana. So inhale, reach, unwrap. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. And fold in half. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, fingertips to the mat or halfway lift. And exhale, fold in half. Shake your head out. Let's grab opposite elbows. If you want to deepen your fold at this point, you can do that by taking your hands around the back of your legs. Slide your fingers down to around your Achilles tendons and then tuck your elbows behind your knees. Let your head drop out. Breathe in, lift. And then exhale, release all the way again. Inhale, tiny lift. Exhale, release. And stay here. Couple breaths. Shake your head out. Drop into ragdoll. And sink the hips and shoulders down. We're going to touch the fingers to the mat and come into monkey, looking forward. Find your focal point. Let's take and grab two peace fingers around your toes. Bring the feet about hips distance. We're coming into hand to big toe grip. So you're just going to lock your fingernails with your thumb, and then lean back onto your heels. Let your head relax and lift the hips. Let your head relax out. Maybe bend your elbows and come a little deeper. This is Uttanasana or gorilla pose. Hand to big toe. Shaking it out. Let your head totally relax. Bend the knees. Touch the ground and inhale, look forward again, coming into monkey pose. We're going to come into a low goddess squat. So if you have your blanket near you, you could use your blanket, especially if your heels don't sit on the ground. And tuck your blanket underneath your heels. Bring the feet, toes to face out. Bring your hands to your heart. And just breathe here. Tuck the elbows on the insides of the knees. And if you feel like you want to just kind of relax and deepen, you can begin to reach your arms forward and begin to drop the head. Coming into Garland pose prep. If you want to begin to work on deepening that, you can take the arms wide and turn the palms up. The thumbs are going to face back. And just let your head drop out. If you want to continue to deepen, you can wrap your hands around, and you're going to take a Ganesha grip. So what you're going to do is just bend your elbows, you're going to hook all four fingers around behind the backs of your heels. And let your head relax all the way. And slowly release. Back in front of you. We're going to step back into all fours and move out any props that you have near you. And let's come back into our cat and cow breathing. If you want to play around and find your crow, it's a great crow prep as well. So if you want to take a moment and fly, or you can just move right into cat and cow. So inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. If you're sweaty, you can towel off your arms. You want to move into your crow, you begin your prep, come on your tippy toes, get your knees all the way up into your armpits, then begin to lean forward and back. Again, working on that breath. So Uddiyana Bandha, we're going to exhale forward and inhale back. So if you feel like you need to stick a little bit more onto the back of your arms, you can use your blanket here and tuck it onto the backs of the arms. So you have a little prop to rest on, and you won't be so slippery. And again, you work on that exhale and then inhale. So I'm going to come from the side so you can see either way. And as you exhale, you might lift your toe. Inhale. Your fingertips can even come off the ground. When you exhale, you might lift the other toe. And inhale. So you can kind of play around with that. Moving into your full crow when you're ready. And I find it's easier to point your toes. It keeps you in your upper abdominal lock. Inhaling back down. So play around with that for a moment. Good. When you feel like you're through with that part of your practice, come back into your cat and cow. Nice work. This time inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Exhale it out. Inhale here, we're going to come into an exhale, stepping back into a kneeling plank. Try not to let the ribs dip down, so you want to keep your core engaged, belly button to spine. Lower heart center down. And all the way flat. Sweep your arms back, palms up, and rest either on your chin or your forehead. Coming into crocodile, bring the toes apart, heels wider, toes turn out, heels turn in, and gently rock. Turn the palms to face down, toes point straight back. Let your chin tuck slightly in. And then we're going to lift the thighs, lift the legs, lift the arms, and fly up into locust. Let your breath massage your body. Do 3 more breaths here. Big inhale, and releasing down and rest, and just gently rock the body. Let's go ahead and roll over to our back side. Hug our knees into our chest. Take a moment to towel off and grab a drink. And hydrate anytime throughout your practice. Apana energy, the downward facing energy. Tucking those knees into the chest. And just gently rocking side to side. Let's bring the feet down onto the ground. Move your hair and knee props out from underneath your body. So that way your neck is relaxed on the ground, your head's relaxed on the ground, and your hair isn't underneath you, if that's an issue. And then just tuck your shoulder blades slightly together. Bring your heels, reach down and see if you can just touch the backs of your heels. So you just want to just barely be able to touch them. And then we're going to set up for bridge. Notice that the toes, where they're facing. You want them to bring them to face 6 o'clock and the heels to face 12 o'clock. So you're not going to point your toes out, but just straight. And then begin to push the lower back into the ground. Heel the tailbone up. Mid back. Upper back. Come all the way up and tuck your shoulder blades together. Maybe lock your fingertips together and your knuckles, or even grab opposite elbows. And lift into your bridge. Breathe into your belly. Push your forearms down, lift a little higher. Come into throat lock. Big inhale. Release and roll down. Bone by bone by bone. Let's hug our knees into our chest. And then just massage in a little figure 8. And switch. Come back into bridge one more time. So reach your heels to the ground. Reach down and see if you can touch them a little bit. Close to it anyway. And then tuck your shoulder blades in, but don't lift your chest off the ground. You want to still let your whole shoulder girdle press into the ground. Now for your bridge, Sarvangasana, if you feel like you have some tension in your shoulders, take your blanket and fold it all the way out until it's just like 1 or 2 layers thick. We're going to just place the folded blanket just underneath the shoulder blades. So if you have a blanket near you, just try that today. You want to make sure it's flat. And then we're going to roll up into our bridge. This is a really good setup to move right into shoulder stand, especially if the blanket is right underneath your shoulders. You can Lift the hips up with your hands. Maybe come onto the tippy toes. Tuck the chin. If you'd like to lift one leg, you can do that. And then switch, coming into Ekapada, one-legged bridge. And just maybe flowing opposite sides. You can lock your hands and deepen here. And roll down, unlock the hands. Let the lower back touch, and then the tailbone. And let's tuck it to a little ball here. Just gently rock. We'll come either into bridge one more time or set up for your shoulder stand. Now again, remember, if you have that blanket, go ahead and use it. And you want it just to be right underneath the bony part, that little scapula of your shoulder, little wing bone, little chicken bone, right? So the part that sticks out, you just want the blanket to stop right there. And it's going to be right underneath the shoulder group. So that's going to really help support you in your shoulder stand. So you can either roll back up into your bridge, and maybe have a flowing practice this time, rolling halfway down, letting the vertebrae touch, rolling up, and then halfway down. If you have a shoulder stand practice, or if you'd like to begin one, just begin to pull the knees to your chest and begin to lift the legs. Take your hands underneath your hips, and you can take two fists right underneath your hips and rest your pelvis right there. If you'd like to continue, push back into a plow and walk your hands up your back, and you can begin to straighten the legs. So from here, you have that nice pad under your shoulders. Work your shoulder blades underneath you more. Continue to lift, 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 lift. So you have a nice firm base under your shoulders. You have a nice space underneath the back of your neck. Spread out the toes. Maybe flex the heels. And then point the toes. And flex. And point. And then if you'd like to try a one-legged plow, one-legged shoulder stand. And we'll switch. One-legged plow, one-legged shoulder stand. Maybe both legs in plow. Your feet may or may not touch the ground. They might just kind of hover in the air, and that's fine. Hands are still supporting that back. Come back through shoulder stand. Coming back up. Breathe. And we'll gently bring the knees into the chest. And we're going to roll down with support. And then we'll tuck into a little ball. Let's come right into a twist. So take your props out. You have a block. We're going to bring one block out to the right of your knees and hips. One block out to the left of the knees and hips. Let's go ahead and take our right leg down and hug your left leg in. Breathe in here, holding onto your knee. Let your left arm drop out to the side like a big wide T. And we're going to inhale, take your right knee across, and then just move your prop so that your leg can rest on it. And let the arms drop out. So you don't have to hold onto your knee here. Just support it and let gravity take over. So you take a nice big breath and then lift the shoulders slightly and then roll out into your twist, looking out over your left fingertips. Breathe here. Relax. Maybe even close your eyes. We're going to inhale, roll back to our center. A big tuck, knees to chest. Just gently rock it out. And then we're going to exhale, extend the other leg. And taking the knees into the chest, tuck it in. Release the head down to the ground. Let your arm drop out and switch sides. Make sure you do the opposite side, which I was not. And then we're going to twist. So take your block and bring it underneath your leg to support you. And then just let yourself drop out into a nice, relaxing twist. And breathe. Close the eyes. Bring it in, knees to chest. Give it a quick little hug. And let's bring it into butterfly. So we're just grabbing our feet or our ankles, or you can grab your shins. Just bind together the bottoms of the feet. And then we're going to release the feet down. Grab your two blocks that are near you or blankets and tuck them out on the outside edges of the legs. So however that feels comfortable. You might tuck them more in a diamond shape or however that feels good today. And then just let your belly relax. So you can take your hands, place your hands, scanning the body, any areas, just scanning from head to the root chakra, and just kind of notice what areas feel like they'd like a little more balance. You may just balance out with Reiki, just sending your body healing energy. And then you can find an area if you just want to rest your hands there, or any areas that you're nurturing, paying special attention to heal, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Deep, full breath. Exhale it out. You can stay in butterfly, or you can move all the way into corpse pose. Releasing. And let yourself completely relax. And while you do, I'm going to play the crystal bowl for you. So take a moment just to melt into your mat. Allow yourself this opportunity just to completely relax. Much for joining us. Namaste.